Welcome to this bonus episode of the Babylon 5 versus Deep Space Nine podcast. In this episode, we're going to look in at the Season 2 premiere of Lower Decks. That's Strange Energies, which dropped on Paramount Plus on August 12th, 2021. In the A-plot of Strange Energies, Matt will describe it for us.
Yes, I will describe this cartoon to you. Hold on one moment. Mariner's side mission results in Ransom getting Gary Mitchell, or Apollo-like powers, and tests Mariner's and Freeman's newfound partnership.
Excellent, excellent. And then in the B plot, we see Tindy, who's anxious about Rutherford undergoing minor changes, medically harass him in ways that alternatively reminded me of Herbert West Reanimator or a really dark version of LaForge's friendship with Data on The Next Generation.
Yeah, so Bob's got me watching this cartoon and taking it seriously, so you're welcome.
Hey man, you make sacrifices for our listeners.
Yeah.
So who was your favorite character this episode, Matt?
Probably the main character, Mariner. And the only reason I liked her was because she solved the overall problem with multiple nut shots to the bad guy.
I mean, he wasn't really the bad guy. He was just the antagonist.
The antagonist. Okay, yeah. Quit using your big college words. The antagonist.
Matt wants you to believe he doesn't have a specialist degree.
Yeah.
He's just a simple country boy being made to watch a cartoon by some
watching
big
these
city
tunes for
manipulator.
you, Bob. Watching these tunes. Apparently nut shots are the modern day equivalent of dropping a rock on someone's head. Kind of like the Gary Mitchell thing, so nice. Good for her.
Contrarily, I really appreciated Dr. Tiana for being a close viewer like myself of the original Star Trek and a strong believer in the curative and medicinal power of boulders, which I would also say, contra to Matt's description, the nut shots only paralyze Ransom. It's the boulders that cure him.
Well, at least they didn't pull out a mallet to his head.
Yeah, that's how they do it down there, huh?
In the cartoons.
I would also say I really love Andorian characters, and so I was excited to see Mariner have an Andorian rival named Jennifer, although further research suggests that apparently she was a minor character in Season 1 that I just don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember her either, so but I'm not going to go back and watch Season 1 again.
Man, I didn't realize you were going to be so in a twist about this.
So in a twist and a tizzy over this tune watching. When the Andorian does interrupt Mariner on the holodeck, did you think the holodeck got a really nice update? Do you think that like the crew of these ships kind of like wait around anxiously to see if like a new version of the holodeck is coming out, kind of like we wait for like Sony to release the PlayStations?
How was it updated? I guess I wasn't paying attention.
It just looked really not like there was like cool stuff going on. They had like spaceships and all kinds of like crazy battles and just looked nice. Usually like when you look at it on Next Gen, they'd be on a regular ship or it'd be like Sherlock Holmes stuff. And yeah, it looked realistic, but camera was pulling away from being inside the holodeck. You got to see the ship in action. And
okay. Yeah, that sort of reminds me of the episode in first season where they had they basically did like the equivalent of a Next Generation movie on the holodeck. But yeah, okay, I can sort of see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. The holodeck, it seems like there should be some limit to what they can actually do since it's just in a room. And watching these, I'm like, it seems like they can do a lot more. But then I also got to thinking of the Enterprise finale, which the whole thing's supposed to have taken place in the holodeck. So maybe
I
the
had
holodeck
totally blocked that trauma from my mind until you brought it back to 4.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure that Lower Decks will go back to it at some point. They love their Star Trek comedy.
There is a fun episode of Voyager where Tuvok has like a training program in case the Maquis mutiny, and the crew find it and they start treating it like a holo novel, and they start like really getting after Tuvok to finish the holo novel. So yeah, we have seen kind of some precedent of like the crew like enjoying their holo novel, wanting the next installment. I do assume that all these references you were making to the PlayStation though was some jab at me for not gaming and not caring.
No, I'm just saying, like, no, it really wasn't. I'm just saying, I assume the holodecks get like updated just like everything else. So I'm sure they're like anxiously waiting to see like the new graphics on the new holodecks are better than the old holodeck graphics.
Do you think there might be like a shortage on holodeck updates because of a computer chip shortage?
Probably not on Star Trek. I mean, everything's free there. Isn't it how free markets work? I'll get on that.
Oh god, now you're just trolling me. So what was your favorite joke or gag this episode?
I like that hypo gun thing that Tindy was running around with, like the medical thing. She like had it in a briefcase and she puts it together. It's got the insignia for the medical field or whatever. And she goes and she's shooting it at the dude with the electronics on his head, whatever his name is.
Rutherford.
Rutherford, yeah. Why do all these characters have weird ass names in this show?
Is Rutherford really a weird ass
Yeah,
name?
Rutherford's a weird name, and if your name is if you're listening, your name's Rutherford. I'm sorry, I'm not really trying to be mean, but Tindy, Rutherford,
how can you disrespect our 19th president like that, man?
Mariner, Ransom.
These are all real names.
Where are these real names? I don't know these people.
I mean, I guarantee you that if you Google for people named Jack Ransom or with the surname Mariner, you will find them.
Jack Ransom sounds like some Fox crime show dude or something. He's solving cases.
Jack Ransom. He never pays the ransom.
And he's got a daughter.
And she's been kidnapped. I don't think this is going to go well for the kidnappers.
Anyway, and also, like, when Mariner was spraying the wall with the pressure washer or whatever, which pressure washing is still a thing in Star Trek. They don't just have some.
They do it with
thing.
Sonics now. They do it with Sonics.
Yeah, I have to admit that's kind of cool. If that was a real thing, that'd be nice. There were whales. Was that supposed to be like a Star Trek 4 reference, or what the hell was that?
Oh, I missed the whales. I thought you were talking about that Rutherford's girlfriend made a reference to cetacean ops, like she and the girls were going to go swimming in cetacean ops. I thought that's what you were talking about. I missed the whales that Mariner revealed in her pressure washing.
No, Bob, in order to understand that, I would actually have to listen to the dialogue. I just watched the show. So
I mean, I think what we've learned from this is that you don't listen to the episode, and I don't actually watch the episode.
Well, that's why this is going to be a great podcast, because we put it together, we get the whole damn show.
It's like we actually watched and listened to the episode together. Okay, we really make up for each other's gross inadequacies in this way. I would say if I had to pick a favorite joke here, I just love how committed they appear to be to making the Packlids an interstellar power. We see them scrapping with the Borg, Romulans, and Klingons in the modified opening credits, and then we see them relentlessly pursuing the Titan in the episode's epilogue, which also, for some reason, I keep bringing up Voyager this week, but it gave me a little bit of Voyager vibes with, like, the strange aliens and the strange anomalies and, like, the strange distortions of space. I don't know, that just reminded me of, like, mid-show Voyager for some reason.
Let me tell you that the visualization of the show, like, made me feel like a complete nerd, because at the very beginning of the episode, there was a ship in the corner, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Cardassian war whatever, and I'm like, why the fuck do I know that? And I was like, oh yeah, Bob on that micro machine. I was like,
Yep. I've thoroughly indoctrinated you, bro.
yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So what was your favorite line for this episode, Matt?
Whatever the fuck Riker said at the end of the episode, I thought it was something dirty or perverse at first, but apparently it was, this jam session has too many licks and not enough counts.
I mean, how dare you act like Riker is the Andrew Cuomo of Starfleet, Matt?
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant. I didn't hear it right, and then I also heard it. It was also in the trailer, like I guess it came like a couple months ago, and
yeah,
it just whatever.
Yeah, I really enjoy the specter of Riker being kind of crazy and just spouting a bunch of jazz lingo as his sort of catchphrases.
Yeah, so on character. They're doing great with that.
Yeah, I think my favorite was the very suggestive phrase, a full load of strange energy. I liked that. I'll be thinking about that for a long time.
Yeah, you will.
Yes, I will. What was your favorite old Trek reference in this episode, Matt?
Probably like everything they referenced Gary Mitchell, because I was like, oh yeah, that was the original pilot episode of the original series, where No Man Has Gone Before. So I'm like, oh okay, well I'm gonna watch this cartoon now. I'll try to go back and watch some old school Trek and just because I just want to be reminded. Yeah, I made it through like maybe 15 minutes of that show and just gave up. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. It's just so. It's just not good. Like,
yes, it is. That's a great episode.
No, it's not. It's awful. It is awful.
Hard disagree over here. Hard disagree. You've been indoctrinated by awful contemporary media. You can't.
Well, you're the one making watch a damn cartoon. But where? but come on. Like half the episode, from what I watched, I guess I can't say half the episode, but from what I watched, it was Spock acting like he was on a submarine. 10-minute clips of him listening to something you couldn't hear.
Yeah. Space is like the sea, Matt. What do you want?
No, I've seen better from the same decade, so that's the difference, I guess.
That's weak stuff, man. It was amusing how much Tindy tormenting Rutherford paralleled Mariner, rerunning Chain of Command, Next Generation two-parter on the holodeck where Picard gets tortured by the Cardassians. I was also kind of amused at how much Mariner using that for a workout was sort of paralleled by Ransom's obsession with working out, which manifested in his godhood. So I think those would be my favorite old Star Trek references. Did those aliens, the Aspergonians, remind you of anything?
No, and I didn't get them at first, and then it took me a minute. They were obsessed with the numbers, wanting the number thing to be perfect. And I guess the number was supposed to be like their intergalactic address or something for the Federation, since it was second contact.
Yeah, I was thinking, I guess, more like a phone number or an IP address.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I couldn't really put my finger on it. They sort of reminded me of The Simpsons, but maybe not that. Maybe it was something else that I don't know. They seemed vaguely familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on.
Yeah,
on
when
it.
you posed this question in our outline, I was like, okay, let me go look. And then I looked them up, and I was like, yeah, they're the same color as The Simpsons. They're not quite Futurama, as I think probably what you may be thinking of.
Although I've seen very, very little Futurama.
Yeah, they have kind of a look like that. They look like Groening Creations. Is that his name?
That sounds right, yeah.
The other guy that does the cartoons.
All right. And was there anything disquieting, anxiety-inducing, annoying, or disagreeable about this episode, apart from the fact that apparently it threatens your fragile masculinity by making you watch and discuss a cartoon?
I can watch a cartoon. It's just hard to watch a Star
You
Trek
just don't want a
cartoon.
podcast about a cartoon. I get it.
I'll watch cartoons by myself, locked in a room where no one else knows I'm watching cartoons.
That's how you do everything.
But no, nothing was really annoying or disagreeable or anxiety-inducing. It was just, it was kind of meh. I'm saying, just like I said with the first season, Lower Decks it's meh. It's
Whatever, man. Vastly better than Picard or Discovery.
You are so full of shit.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, Lower Decks is
did
funny.
I trigger you?
Lower Decks is funny. It has some funny moments, but it's not on the same caliber as Discovery or Picard or anything else that Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
come
I
out
agree.
with.
It's not on the same caliber. It's quite a couple calibers. Is that how you say it? Above
No,
them.
the other way around. It's lower. It's Lower Decks, lower caliber.
That's a very classist thing to say, Matt.
I can't. I mean, I can. I'll continue watching it just because I have to, justify owning Paramount Plus to my significant other. But like,
Yeah, I'm lucky that I freeload the Paramount Plus off of Friends. I don't actually have to
Yeah.
justify it to a significant other or to myself. That would be a difficult justification.
the only other good thing is like they've got like behind the music on there and a lot of MTV stuff. So I appreciate that.
I was enjoying The Good Wife. I kind of trailed out, but I was enjoying it.
All right, Bob. No.
All right. One final note I would put in. I was a little curious that the voice actor who played Shax, the Agro Bajoran security chief last season, is still in the opening credits. I wonder if that's the product of laziness, or if they're going to recast him, or if they're going to resurrect good old Shax, who I was very fond of. So yeah, we can close out there. So this is
Here we're going to close out on this, Bob. I just get a text message from my wife. I got a text message from my wife. You watch cartoons by yourself? LOL.
So really what you do is you lock your wife in a closet with you and you force her to watch cartoons. Now we understand.
Oh, Bob. To watch my cartoons at work now. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Man, so I like that on this episode I've revealed that I pirate major corporations' media offerings, and you've revealed that you slack off on your government job.
Okay, for anyone that may be listening, which I don't think anyone is, but no, I do not watch cartoons at my job. No, I do not watch Babylon 5, Deep Space Nine, or any other Star Trek at work. So, just
And
making
I
that very
of
clear.
course, believe in giving all of my money I can reasonably spare to major media corporations like Disney or Viacom or AT&T, of course.
All right. Very good.
All right. This has been Babylon 5 versus Deep Space Nine, the bonus series on Lower Decks, where we torment Matt by making him watch cartoons. I am Bob from Cascadia. You've also heard Matt from the Southland being tormented. Have a good night, everybody.
We guess thank you for listening.